Okay, so let's talk about the biggest story in the economy right now, and that is the promise of interest rate cuts. But here's the thing, there's a huge gap between the official story that we're all being told and the actual financial reality that so many of us are living through every single day. So let's break down what's really going on. And this really gets to the heart of it. Economic policy, it isn't just about raw numbers and data. It's about the story they use that data to tell. Our job is to understand the story they're trying to sell, even if it doesn't quite feel right in our own wallets. And that brings us right to our first major disconnect. You've got the official inflation number, and then you've got your actual grocery bill. So according to the latest official report, the CPI, or Consumer Price Index, inflation has cooled all the way down to just 2.4%. Now, on paper, that looks fantastic, right? It's really close to the Federal Reserve's target of 2.0%. And this one little number is pretty much the foundation of their entire news story. But it's so important to remember that this is just a broad average, and averages can really hide the pain points in a real person's budget. It's a simple question, but it's probably the most important one. I mean, think about it. When you go to the grocery store, when you're paying your bills, does it actually feel like prices are only up 2.4% from where they were last year? Yeah, for most people, that's going to be a hard no. And this slide shows you exactly why. Let's just forget the headline number for a second. Look at the real world. Ground beef is up over 16%. Home healthcare up 12%. Hospital care, 7%. I mean, even funeral costs and public transit are up 6 and 5%. These are things people have to buy, and the price hikes are way, way higher than that official 2.4% number. This is the reality. Okay, so if the inflation story is, let's say, complicated, what about the whole reason for cutting rates in the first place? Well, this brings us to the Fed's justification for all this, and as you're about to see, their story has just completely changed. You see, the original story, the narrative we were hearing for a while, was that we might need rate cuts to save a weakening labor market. But the data just doesn't back that up anymore. Not at all. The last jobs report showed 130,000 jobs were added, and the unemployment rate actually fell again to 4.3%. The labor market is solid. It just doesn't need rescuing. So, what does the Fed do when the facts don't fit the story? Well, they pivot. The old story is out the window. The new story, as you can see here, is that because the labor market is doing great and inflation is officially low, now is the perfect time to cut interest rates. The whole justification has done a complete 180. So you gotta ask, why the sudden shift? Why this rush to find a totally new reason to cut rates? Well, the answer might have less to do with economics and more to do with politics. Let's just take a quick look at the calendar. We've got Fed meetings in March and April, and Jerome Powell is the chair. But then come mid-May, a new Fed chair, Kevin